Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome, Chris, back with another fragrance review, this time looking at the Spanish designer house of the late great genius Salvador Dali. And this house has been releasing in the past some great milestone designer fragrances going back to the 80s. Therefore I always looked with interest at this house, although I was never really able to somehow associate myself fully with the brand for some reason. I don't know why. Yet I made some purchases of their fragrances, and they always turn out to be very interesting, special and intriguing. So I never regretted any Salvador Dali fragrance that I got. And that's the case with the one that I'm going to be presenting you today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, open up center stage 4. Ta-da! Salvador Dali, Roy Soleil Extrême. Great design. Basically the black version of Roy Soleil, the original, released in 1997, I think it was. It's basically almost the same bottle. The black design is obviously different, maybe emphasizing the extreme being of this particular fragrance. Now, if you know the original Roy Soleil, the Sun King, right, then you know that it was a classy sour citrus springtime fragrance, very much suitable for I would say the mid-aged man. It always had this classy vibe about it that made it sort of a gentleman's fragrance. Even though it was fresh, it was also very much demanding a personality that has been, seeing some age, right, or is representing some age. Somehow I thought it's always kind of a fresh, mature fragrance, the original Roy Soleil. Now with this one, it's taking a step further in this theme, in the required maturity that is needed in order for this fragrance to be appreciated, and that's due to one major factor that is being represented in this fragrance, which is the moss theme, and the fact that the moss is there right at the beginning of this fragrance, and it's there in a modern way. This has been released in 2012. Okay, so basically what, 15 years after the original, if I'm not mistaken. The original came out in 97. So 2012, Le Roy Soleil Extrême. So you would expect something like more crowd-pleasing, in a sense that, many designers go and take their old, successful fragrances and turn them into some flanker that is a more crowd-pleasing version of the original. Okay, not with this one. They've been very brave, very creative with this juice, and I feel that to pair up the moss and lavender in a way that is being done here in 2012, and still be able to launch a fragrance that is not smelling dated, is a very nice not only attempt, but very nice result, or is resulting in a very nice product. So as I mentioned, moss lavender, it's very much based around these two very, very classy men's fragrance ingredients, right? I mean, they've been around, and there's some citrus, there's bergamot in here as well. So you really have this tremendous combination here of these notes, and there's something that is added in there is the pineapple. I usually don't like pineapple in fragrances, and there is something off-putting for me in pineapple in general in a fragrance. This is why I don't like Bloody Aventus, right? And pineapple leaf is detectable in here. And although I love the moss, lavender, bergamot theme that's going on, the pineapple, it makes it more interesting, yes. It makes it more off-putting for me in order to wear it on a constant basis. Yes, also. So it's a shame because it is really a fragrance that has an outstanding performance. It has a great longevity, and the projection sillage is always is done in a way that is not shouting, yet it's always present. And the moss, which I love a lot, it's constantly present in this fragrance. It's just going on and on and on and on in a modern way. It's very nice. There's one other fragrance where I think moss, oak moss is done very well. That's Ferré for Man from Gianfranco Ferré from 2006. There, the oak moss in the dry down, it comes only in the dry down, but then in the dry down it's just tremendous. Here it's a top note. It's an absolute, the moss here is a top note, and it just goes on hand in hand with your bergamot freshness, pineapple freshness. Yes, pineapple gives it the freshness, and the lavender as well. Maybe stuff like these are the 3-4 notes that I really detect in this one. I don't want to spray it on because it's, as I said, it's long lasting, and I have Versace L'Homme on today, which I totally adore. It has obviously oak moss as well, and but this is something that is, I think, extremely interesting as a signature all year round fragrance for the mature man. It ticks all the boxes in terms of quality of the presentation, uniqueness of the brand, quality of the notes, the components, the ingredients, and the performance. So this is really a 10 out of 10 fragrance in these aspects. Yet, obviously, everybody has a different taste. It's not necessarily my cup of tea because mostly, I think, because of the pineapple aspect. But what I do regularly do is I come back to this fragrance because I want to like it. I just want to bloody like this thing. And I always come back to it, and I always wear it, and it works. But so far I have this fragrance for about 6 or 7 years now, and I came back to it and I wore it, but it never really broke the ice with me, this me against the pineapple leaf component ice theme. But I'm trying because, as I say, in general, this is a fantastic fragrance. This is just gorgeous. It really is. Again, I should have put this into my 5 fragrances that nobody's talking about themed video, because I don't see much promotion or word going around for le Roy Soleil Extrême. Although it is a great fragrance. And one more thing, this is an eau de toilette. Okay, so the Extrême is the name spot on? It is. Although it's not a close flanker to the original, so not the original being released in a more extreme way, which, by the way, doesn't need to be, because the original Le Roy Soleil is an outstanding performer as well. It has a tremendous projection and longevity. It is fantastic. The only thing with that one is it smells a little bit too synthetic for me. This smells much more natural with the lavender and the moss. They really give it a more natural feeling than the original. Now, eau de toilette, it outperforms many eau de parfums. I'm telling you, it outperforms many eau de toilettes, many eau de parfums. This eau de toilette. So this is extreme in its performance, even though it's still an eau de toilette, right? So we could go into this. This argument, I've seen it many times in the community. Shall I get an eau de toilette, or do you prefer an eau de parfum? And people seem to think along the line, an eau de toilette is in any and every case a weaker version of any sort of fragrance than an eau de parfum, which is not true. spray this juice on and compare it with niche or many niche or designer fragrances or the parfums. So you do an eau de toilette versus an eau de parfum, and I bet you this son of a bitch is gonna outlast many of the niche or designer eau de parfums that are being released or have been released in the past. So it's the intention of the designer for a fragrance to last, and the composition, the blend, and the skill that is being put into a fragrance, that is deciding how long a fragrance is lasting. Of course, your skin type and all these things contribute to that, but it is really the intention of the manufacturer. How long do I want my fragrance to last? And you can name it eau de toilette or eau de parfum. Another good example is Insensé from Givenchy, released in 1993. I mean, good God Almighty, you know, that fragrance, an eau de toilette, just lasts forever. It's an eau de toilette, okay? And many of today's eau de parfums are just not lasting 5-6 hours at all. Many. I'm not saying all. Many. Way too many. Okay, way too many. Rip off. So sorry for going into that direction, but this is a great example of a modern eau de toilette done well, blended well, presented well, and with the right target audience. This should be a huge success. I'm not sure if this is still being manufactured, but Le Roy Soleil Extrême is just the perfect signature fragrance for the mature guy. I would say 35 and up. Just, you know, full stop. That was Chris. And I would still try to make friends or become friends with this one, even though the pineapple leaf aspect might be still putting me a little bit off. But that's just my fault. That's my taste, okay? So thanks very much. That was Chris from Scentland with another fragrance review, and I'll be definitely back with more. Thanks very much for the good vibes, and take care, guys and girls, and everybody, subscribers and new subscribers, and love and hugs from myself to you all. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.